Right then, this is Sharky from SHAR-KADE. Now today I'm going to show off this Grand Theft Auto Vice City custom arcade Bartop unit. We have done stand-ups of this design in the past. This is our 24-inch Bartop version. It comes with a Ryzen 5 CPU, 16 gig of DDR4 RAM, 120 gig SSD, an RTX 2060 graphics card, and our 16 terabyte Hyperspin drive. Now our 16 terabyte Hyperspin drives come with 340 plus systems with next gen titles like Mortal Kombat 11, Star Wars: The Fallen Order, Street Fighter 5, and many more. Now then, we have Hunt downloaded at the moment. What I'll do is I'll cut away, I'll get the lights on, and I'll really show off this artwork on the 4K camera. So I'll catch us in a second. So then, down the left hand side there, we have that stunning artwork. And all our artwork is custom designed and printed to the highest possible quality. Now if we move across the control panel there, we do have that nice Vice City background with the Vice City logo there. And then we have those palm trees going throughout the center art, just like the stand-up version. We have these nice pink trim, that nice purple glow there. And then if we come up to the marquee, we do have that nice Vice City background there. That marquee is stunning. I've done that marquee on the stand-up. It's usually a bit wider, and yeah, it's one of my best marquees I do. And then on the dust covers is our custom dust cover prints. It's got the Rockstar logo there with the palm trees in the background. And we do have our mini amps on the front of the unit. These mini amps come with MP3 playback. You have an SD card port and a USB port there. You have radio, like I say, on there as well, so you can tune your radio and listen to your AM and FM radio stations, as well as play some music direct from the amp. You have two USB ports there on the right hand side. That's for the Xbox controllers. Now you do get two Xbox controllers with this unit. I'll do a little longer video today, showing off a few things. If we come down the right hand side there, we have that beautiful artwork, that nice car there, and the Vice City logo coming up to some nice palm trees and that nice Vice City background. Come across the back here, we do have that palm tree effect and those stunning custom grills. Those are speaker grills. If you're not familiar with the channel and you're new to seeing these custom arcade units, these are custom grills made by me at SHAR-KADE. We have our RGB LEDs there. We also have those sound activated as well. You have a controller with this unit. You can change the LEDs from about 10-15 different colors and then different modes and so on and so on. Over the back panel here, we do have that cool looking back panel artwork. And like I say, it's all printed at the highest quality. And then we have that nice custom fan grill on the back. Now, you would think on a grill like that the airflow wouldn't be too great, but to be honest, temperatures are good, airflow is good. It is a little restrictive, but to be honest, you get a nice warm air come out of there, gets exhausted nicely. And this machine's been on for quite a while and doing some tests and gaming and stuff. And then we have two USB ports on the back there. So what I'll do is I'll cut away in a second, and I'll just show off how to set up your controllers and stuff when you turn the unit on, as well as set up the Wii controller kit. I have done videos in the past. There's 1 or 2 customers that still struggle getting your Wii controller set up and working correctly. I wish I had those KADE bolt tops as well for this unit. I have sent the customer the link. I believe they're going to buy them, which will look really smart on this unit. They're a bi-coloured bolt top. They've got like a purple, blue and a light glass. They're absolutely stunning. It's a shame I couldn't have any on this unit to just take pictures with. That would have been really cool, would have looked really smart. But absolutely stunning looking bar top unit. I can redesign this for a 32 inch, a 27 inch and so on. I may even do a 100 quid off on our 32 inch ultimate builds with the RTX 3060. If you buy the full kit, I'll take 100 quid off. That'll be my special offer for these GTA units, because I do like building them. They look really smart. And I'll also, if you buy these units as well, I'll also throw in the bi-colour bolt tops as well for free. They're worth about 20-30 quid. I think the price has gone up on them at the moment, but they're worth about that. So then, what I'll do is I'll cut away, get the camera mounted, and then I'll just show off the initial setup of these units when you get them. So I'll catch us in a second. Right then, what you want to do once you switch the unit on is grab your Xbox controllers. So you'll take them out the boxes, and then what you'll do is plug the Xbox controller, one of the Xbox controllers in the top USB port, and then grab your second Xbox controller. Once that first controller is synced up and you have a solid green light on there, you will plug in your second controller. Now, the controllers are for some of the next gen PC titles, like the first person shooters and stuff like that, like Far Cry and stuff. You also have some other games, platform games on the PC, like Hunt Down and stuff, are all work with the arcade sticks. Fighting games work with the arcade sticks. I think there's one fighting game which is Dead or Alive 6, which will only work with the Xbox controllers. If you try and set it up with the arcade sticks, it has an error and messes the game up. But once those are synced up, like I say, you have analog systems as well as digital systems. What is an analog system? An analog system is a system that had analog controllers. So like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PS3, N64, Sega Saturn will work with the arcade sticks because you only had a D-pad, you had the buttons and you had some shoulder buttons. So older systems like Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, stuff like that all work with the arcade sticks, and the analog systems like PlayStation 1, N64 and so on work with the Xbox controllers. Now there is some driving games for likes of TeknoParrot which will work with the Xbox controllers, and we do offer a Wii controller kit. Now what you get is a Mame Flash sensor bar. If you purchase the Wii controller kit, you will get a Mame Flash sensor bar. This bar is specifically for PC only. These are for the Dolphin emulator, so you can't just plug in a normal USB sensor bar because it needs a Bluetooth adapter and everything that's in here to sync your controllers to the PC. So you will get 2 Wii controllers and 2 nunchucks if you order the Wii controller kit. Also with our units we do offer a wireless keyboard and mouse free. With the Xbox controllers, this is just for 1 or 2 systems that are keyboard only, or the likes of getting into Windows and stuff like that. The reason why you'd get into Windows in case you have any issues and they need fixing. So we do offer Wi-Fi free in our units. Some of the newer graphics cards now are getting that wide, and they're actually taking up the PCI slot on the board, on the motherboard, because we usually use a PCI adapter for wireless adapter for our units but currently we're having to, for the higher end GPUs, we are having to use a USB wireless adapter. They're not perfect, they're not 100%, they do connect, but you do have to be quite close to your modem. So I do recommend obviously having a machine close to a modem if you do need anything fixing or sorted. So these, like I say, we put USB ones in if we can't install the PCI Express ones. So that this unit will come with that. Now, to set up your Wii games, what we'll do is, not the Wii games, but the Mame light gun games and the shooting games. We will go to the Mame light gun games. Hold a second, I'll just pause this. Right then, sorry about that, that was a delivery. So, right, we have our Mame flash sensor bar. So what we need to do is we'll go to the Mame light gun games. So if we just head up, and then we go to Mame light gun. And then what you need to do is, we usually have 2 USB ports on the back of the unit. And what we'll do is we plug it into the top port. So we'll use the top port. I always like to use the same USB ports. And what we'll do is, I like to have it under the screen. I find it works better on top of the screen. I find it struggles, maybe because of the if it has a bit of a tilt and it's not quite facing you. I always find it works better underneath. Obviously, if you've got a stand-up machine, you can't have these mounted underneath. They've got to go above the machine. I do recommend like a little shelf above your unit, just for it to sit on, so you get the right angle and stuff. Because the top of our machines are angled backwards a bit. So you'd have to work it out, and just find somewhere to safely mount these bars. We do offer HDMI out as well, so some customers like to just plug their units into a big screen TV, have their Wii sensor bar underneath the big screen TV or above the big screen TV, and use it that way. So you do have options there, like I say. So what we'll do is we'll make sure this is in bottom mode, so that you have a switch on the back on the right hand side, and you've got a top and bottom, so we'll switch that over to bottom. And then what we'll do is we'll switch the bar on. You've always got to make sure when you shut down the machine is to turn off all the Wii sensor bars and unplug the Xbox controllers. And I usually turn off the bar first, then unplug the Xbox controllers. Never just unplug the controllers while the Wii bar's in. It stops any hot swapping issues and causing any issues further down the line. When you start up the machine, make sure the Xbox controllers are unplugged and the Wii bars unplugged or turned off. When it starts up, plug in the Xbox controllers first. Then if you wish to use the Wii bar, I just recommend, if you're going to play the Wii, the light gun games with a Wii bar and stuff like that, turn the bar on then. When you're finished playing those games, just turn the bar off. I don't recommend keeping it on all the time. These bars can cause issues with certain systems and stuff, and they can cause hot swapping, which just avoids any nightmare, any situation of having to call me up and me going through changing IDs and stuff like that. So like I said, never have this bar on unless those Xbox controllers are plugged in. Each controller, each arcade controller and each Xbox controller has a certain ID, and it's got to be set to them IDs at all times. So right, we'll turn this bar on. I believe I have some batteries in the controllers. I'll only sync one controller up. Sometimes if you get these controllers, we are in mode 3 at the moment for the Mame light gun game, so you put it in mode 3. If the controller doesn't automatically sync up, I recommend you press the sync button on the top of the bar, and then you'd press the sync button inside the controller. The little red button inside the controller, press that, the controller will start flashing, and then it'll be synced. I do recommend as well with the Mame light gun games, you keep in the nunchuck. For PC shooting games, you unplug the nunchuck, and certain games you press the start button, player 1 to start the game. That's just the way it's set up. So let's go ahead, go into Mame light gun games, and let's just head into Terminator 2. So load that game, and I recommend you stand a good 4 or 5 feet away. And like I say, make sure your sensor bar is central to the screen also. So on this, on these games, the coin button is your button 2 on the control. Your start button is button 1. Certain games will ask you to press a trigger, which is button B, to shoot. And there you have it. You do have rockets on this as well, which is your button A. So to quit the game, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and press the left pinball button. We will leave it in mode 3 for the moment, and then what we'll do is we'll head down to TeknoParrot. We'll open TeknoParrot up, and then what we'll do is go ahead and load a game. I reckon Aliens. So always make sure you have for the TeknoParrot games, you have it in mode 3 when you load the game. Because if you don't have it in mode 3 and it doesn't detect the controllers, what it'll do, it'll come up with an error on the screen. So it's best practice, leave it in mode 3. Now if the game isn't working in mode 3, which I'll show off in a second on another game, you've got to switch it over to mode 2. You can do that while you're in game, but you can't switch to mode 3 while you're in game. If it's a game that requires mode 3, you can't just switch to mode 3. You've got to exit the game, reload the game in mode 3, and then test the game. So what we'll do is we'll press start, which is your button 1. And then, like I say, you do have to have your nunchuck connected to the control. You can get some gun attachments for the Wii. You can get little cheap attachments and stuff like that, which will house the nunchuck. So we have the C button as our flamethrower, and we have our A button as our grenade, and then we have our shoot is B. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and quit that, and then we'll just go back. You sometimes got to wait a couple of seconds. So what we'll do is we'll go to Haunted Museum, I believe it's called. And we'll set that to load. Now I am in mode 3 at the moment, so what we need to do is switch it to mode 2 because it doesn't work in this mode. So in mode 2 you can only have, let's try and resync that. I think the batteries are starting to die in this control. So in mode 2 it is keyboard and mouse mode. You can only use one Wii controller. You'll have 2 LEDs on there. And to start the game, you do have to press start on the arcade. So we'll just skip all that. And then stand back, select the level we want. You can unplug the nunchuck as well for this game. So we'll just unplug the nunchuck. That'll swap A and B round, so your B is your shoot. With the nunchuck in mode 2, your A will be your shoot. So stand back. Right then, what we'll do is we'll hit our left pinball button. Now then, like I say, I don't like to leave the Wii bar on. If I'm not going to play any shooting games, I'll turn the Wii bar off. So you can do that with the left button at the back. So that's off. Xbox controllers are synced. Go ahead and just play your games. Go through your different systems. So I'll go back there, and what I'll do is I'll head up, and then we'll go and find a pinball table. I'll move the bar out of the way so it's just not in my way, and then we'll take a look at a couple of pinball tables. To load a game is your A button, your first button, bottom row. To do a search, so if you're in the system itself and you just want to quickly go through to like the games named T, like Transformers, Terminator, stuff like that. In MAME, there's thousands of games, so you may want to use that option. So what you do is you hold left or right on the first player joystick. It'll come up with different letters. Now you can go through A, B, C, D, up to Z and so on. And then if you wanted something named starting with T, you'd select T and you'd go ahead through the games and take a look and select your game. To load the game is your A button. To exit most of the systems is your left pinball button, but not all systems. The pinball systems themselves, depending on the pinball system, like Pinball FX2 and FX3, it is a player one coin button, the button on the left here. Now for future pinball, visual pinball systems like that, it is your player 2 coin button, because in that system it does require you to add credits into the game, so we have that set to your player 1. So then let's go ahead, load the game. Now there is a system called Pinball Arcade. Now they do have different tables on there. You have a launch button table as well as your pull code tables. So you have your pinball shooter, so you'd use your right analog stick, where your right stick on player 2 to work that. But for launch ball, for most of the games, is your A button, player 1.
Have I missed anything? I'll get it there somehow.
I think I opened it.
It's locked.
So then, that's the basics of when you get a SHAR-KADE custom arcade unit, how to just go about going through the menus and so on and so on. Now I have had one or two customers not shut these units down properly. They think the power button at the back, it'll just switch it off. Now you can't do that with a normal PC, never mind one of our machines. These do have gaming PCs inside, so you've got to shut it down correctly like you would in Windows, but you're not in Windows. So how would you shut that down? What you need to do is press your B button, your back button, which is your second button, bottom row, and press it again when you're back at the main menu. What you'll come up with is an exit screen. It'll ask you if you wish to exit. If you press on yes, it will shut the machine down. So we'll press on yes and the whole system will shut down. When you switch it on, the system will boot up direct into Hyperspin. And like I say, once you're finished with the unit, do unplug the Xbox controllers, and there goes the controller. So yeah, make sure you unplug the Xbox controllers, and then when you start the unit up, make sure you plug the Xbox controller into the top port and the other one into the bottom port. And it looks like those glasses have died. I got those glasses the other day. We went to a Bristol venue, a Hotline Bristol venue, and yeah, bought some cool glasses to have a good night out. So yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos. Like I say, if you wish to have a unit like this we are going to do a £100 off special offer on the Ultimate builds. That will be a 32-inch custom arcade unit with the RTX 3060 graphics card, a Ryzen 5, 16 gig of DDR4 RAM, our 16 terabyte Hyperspin build, and we also have a 24 terabyte upgrade option. Now our 24 terabyte option does have a massive collection of the end switch stuff, the PS3 stuff, the GOG games, as well as a visual pinball, and we have a PC modded game selection on there and a PS5 selection. Now I've had a few people ask me, how come you've got PS5 on there? The PS5 stuff are just PC versions of PS5 exclusive games. That's all they are. Saves on emulating a game and stuff like that. It's raw gameplay. It's built for the PC. It's designed for the PC, and it's better graphics. So I've got no minutes left on my memory card. So like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.